Queens, and welcome back to another fantastic week with Moasa in the game. Once again, you already know the deal with that. So sorry if my voice is a little louder than normal. It's because I have an AC in my room and it's kind of a little loud, but you know, we are not dying in my room this summer, girl. Let me tell you, last summer I was melting my entire skin off. Like, girl, let me freaking tell you. So there's a couple of things I want to address on my YouTube channel. One being obviously the elephant in the freaking room. Yes, I know I haven't been on social media. Well, I haven't been on YouTube, let me correct that, in a while. And I know my previous video, I said I was coming back soon because I missed the editing, I missed doing the vlogs, I missed doing just the YouTube period, because before that previous video, I was on another like two-week break. I really apologize for not being on YouTube, and I'm going to explain why I haven't been. And I know it's not an excuse, girl. I literally need to up my game. I need to do more. I need to do better on YouTube. That was one of my goals for this year on YouTube, and I've been freaking sucking at it like no one's business. So after that video was recorded, obviously the world went into shambles, and I mean, it's already been going down that road into shambles, but it exploded. And it's obviously serious topic that I needed to focus on, and I still need to focus on, and we as a community still need to focus on, and we as a nation need to focus on, and making sure the world is going in a progressive future, not only just for us, but our future generations, our kids, our grandkids. Obviously, unless you are living under a rock, you know what's been going on with the Black Lives Matter, with the police brutality, with all of the everything in between. But those two big topics in particular have been the topic of discussion, which is long overdue, girl. Let me freaking tell you. I don't even need to tell you at this point, because if you have eyes and you're not a freaking conservative, you clearly have seen these issues and these problems for a while. They just haven't been addressed. Now they are, and now we can't run from them. Obviously, I am Black. I don't hide that. Obviously, there's no way to hide that, and I'm not ashamed of it. With that being said, I am on the forefront of this whole entire Black Lives Matter. I've been to many protests. I've been actively talking about it on social media. I'm not keeping my mouth shut, and neither should you, neither should your family, neither should your friends. Like, we all should be talking about this. And I will say, I've been a little bit aggravated with social media these past couple of weeks, because after like a good 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a half, and I even will say after Blackout Day on all social media, which that was a mess.com. A lot of people did participate in the way they're supposed to participate, but a lot of people just posted a black box, and that was the end of the conversation. That wasn't the intent of it. But anyway, I digress from that conversation. That's a different topic. But basically, after a couple of days after that, the talk on social media has like lowered. I feel like it was just a trend for people to hop on and like keep reposting and doing this and talking about this and making tweets and doing that. And it's not a trend. Let me tell you, my life in the lives in the Black community is not a trend. We are not here for public display on social media or Instagram post or Twitter hashtag trending. We're not a social media trend. We need to start talking about this more, and talking about more people than just George Floyd, because there's many thousands of people. George Floyd sparked the conversation, because obviously that video alone and the way he got murdered was disgusting. You don't need to watch it to understand the heartbreak that his family felt, and even the Black community felt. So we need to talk about this more. And if I'm going to lose subscribers for talking about this on my YouTube channel, I know I've lost followers on Instagram, I know I lost followers on Twitter, and I honestly don't care, because if you don't support the Black Lives Matter movement, you don't support the progression in this country, you're just not a friend that I want around, period. And that's just the end of the conversation right there. Because this is such an important topic, and I've been to multiple protests, and obviously I've been actively speaking about it on social media, like I said. I really haven't felt the need to pick up the camera and talk to the camera, and I know that's important as well, to keep the audience on YouTube talking about it and giving more information about that topic. And from here on forward, when I make a video, if I see something that I want to talk about Black Lives Matter, about anything really, I'm going to speak about it in that video. I have been worried more about being at the protests and actually actively speaking at the protests. Obviously, I'm not a public speaker, so I'm not like actually speaking, but like being there and being actively a part of it is my one goal about being at a protest. And I have recorded some of the protests, like motivational speakers that are speaking, and like obviously their message needs to be heard, so I'm recording it, and I have posted some on social media and, you know, my stories. But for YouTube, I tend to, and I mean, this is not a bad trait by any means, I tend to be sucked into the YouTube world when I pick up the camera and I talk to the camera because I'm so passionate about it. Obviously, when you're passionate about something, you put your whole focus into that one thing. And I love YouTube. Obviously, you guys can see that when watching my videos, but the only downside is to that if I'm vlogging at a protest, then I'm going to be more worried about the camera, more worried about giving you guys information and, you know, not really obtaining the information from the protest or actively being there at the protest and fully being there at the protest. I thought it was best not to bring out my phone and start vlogging because I didn't want to make it about myself and my channel. I wanted to be there for my community and be there actively engaged in the protest instead of putting a vlog about the protests on YouTube, which is why I've been more reliant on doing it on stories and doing on that because it's easier for me not to be more engaged in a story by just like recording the motivational speaker and just, you know, posting it on my story and then moving on and actively being in the protest. And not only am I Black, but I'm gay, so that is two big targets on my back. So I really needed to be focused on that solely while the momentum was going. And I encourage you, and please, please, please talk about Black Lives Movement more in your daily life on social media and talking to your family members or whatever the case may be, because this conversation cannot end, cannot just be a trend. It needs to continue and it needs to be continuous until the progression is shown. And I mean, some things have been shown. We've been making steps into the right direction, but we have a lot more to do and a lot more work to be said and done. So please, please, please talk about it more on social media and with your family and friends. Alrighty, queens, I've talked to you long enough, girl. Thanks for listening to my rambles and rants, and I will see you guys Monday with a brand new video. Please be more vocal about Black Lives Matter. I know it's dying down on social media, and I know a lot of people are still posting about it, and thank you for posting about it, but the conversation needs to be louder still. More people are still being wrongfully killed, whether it's by police brutality, whether it's by getting hung, which is so fucking disgusting in this day and age, or being lynched or whatever. It still needs to be talked about. George Floyd was a tragic freaking murder, but he was not the only one, and he's not going to be the last one. So let's continue to talk about this topic because it's so freaking important to me and to somebody in your life. So please don't be silent. Silence is violence, girl. I will say that to the cows come home. I don't care if you're my sister, brother, cousin, mom, dad, uncle. Silence is violence, girl. So speak up about it and be a part of history. Be a part of the progression in this country. But anyway, queens, I am going to be posting a video on Monday, so be there or be square, girl. And I will see you in the next one.